Hello, hello. Today, March 30th, end of the quarter. This is the day where companies unload or load up anything they don't want on their books to send for your statement. They just take off. They get rid of all their junk. So it's a big day today. Tomorrow's also expiration, Friday expiration for options. So there might be some good opportunities tomorrow in the options market. Look for that. So first thing, what am I looking at? We had we had a gap today, right? In the diamonds, as you could see, in the SPY, and in the Qs. I gotta tell you, sometimes I just let the market come to me. You just gotta sit there in your chair and you gotta let things play out. And what played out, automatically things started coming in, coming in, coming in. The diamonds came up to its high. Did it stop? It stopped a little bit, but the trend line still continued nicely downwards. Even the steep one, you could have said, yeah, the steep one also. Check this out, right? Boom. Continues going down, comes all the way down there to yesterday's open, and then it starts to go back up. This was your entry point right here because this was an up day. We want to be able to continue that momentum. So as long as it's trying to continue that update, that's your entry point of the diamonds. Same thing happened with the SPY. They actually also hit yesterday's high. The Qs, which are actually stronger, they didn't even hit yesterday's high. All right, so we had some trades today on the major indices, which came into play really, really nicely. Keep an eye on that. Obviously, when you want to see these things live, you got to join me. You can join my live class. I have a live class. You could find it on the banner somewhere. Just hit that button. The banks, every single time that 45.50 we were talking about, 43.50, 47.50, that's the area for the KRE. Let me show you some interesting trades for today. All right, so first off, I'm looking at Lyft. Lyft is very interesting. New CEO came in, they shot up to like 10.50 from 8.50. The question is, how is the market going to take it? I hope that they give them a chance because I'm looking for an opportunity to get into this thing. Okay. So far, I didn't get an opportunity that I like, but let me show you something I did find that I really liked. RIVN, RIVN, right? Here we go. So this stock has been beaten up. See this? Beaten up all the way from $175. They're killing it. It's the first time we kind of got like a little upwards momentum, and we kind of broke the downward sloping trend line. Okay, we hit today a milestone, a serious place. With the downward sloping trend line, as you could see. So this is a dangerous area to enter, right? And it hit all the way to that 1480. But before I hit that 1480, you had this beautiful trade here today. Check this out. We had a triple bottom on an upward sloping trend line. I know people don't like it. They want to see a triple bottom straight up on a straight line. I started realizing years ago that it even works on upward and downward sloping trend lines. And the beauty about it is that it actually works pretty today. Look at that. From the beginning of the morning, okay? You had one, you had two, from yesterday's morning. 1, 2, and then we hit that spot today head on. It was also really cool because it was right above today's low. So you kind of were able to get in there with like a small stop loss. So RIVN is something I'm looking at for the long haul. Obviously, when it got to this area, 1484, you don't have to think much about it because you kind of see the trend line. You're getting the sense how I'm trading. And it hit a major resistance area for me. So right away, I took profit. I kept like, 20% just to see if this is going to keep going up. But obviously, I'm not going to take a loss on these 20%. If it comes back down, I'm out. I'm already profitable. You never take a loss when you're on a trade that you're profitable. It doesn't make any sense. especially after you reach your first profit target, maybe even your second profit target. But it's also a beautiful stock for, beginners. It's a $14 stock. You could trade this with 1,000 share lot. You catch a trade like this, you're making, let's say, 40, 30, 48, that's 50 cents. Let's say you caught 25 cents, 30 cents out of that move. That's like a good $300. And that's a good entry move, for a trader that's trading, beginner trader and so on. So I'm looking at that. I had another interesting trade today. Since I'm looking at the banking sector every single day lately, and it doesn't look good. Everyone's saying that it looks like, I hear on TV, on the news, or think the banking sector troubles are over. I don't know what they're talking about. It's a downtrend. I'm looking to short this downtrend, right? You want to short it. Look at this, IAT, right? Today, IAT flew from 33, it didn't fly, it kind of drove up to from 33 to 37, but we had a resistance point here at 30. What is this? High 30, where is high? 36.90, right? 36.90 was the high here. The high here was 36.76. The high here was also 36.65, right around 36.75, that high area. What did we hit today? 36.66. Boom, right around the high that we had a few weeks ago. March 17th and 21st. 14th and 21st. It hit that area on the dot. Okay, you could see in a 5-minute bar, it just jumps up there. Now, obviously, it even opened the day up there, so it's falling right away. Now you're at a resistance level. Okay, and you got to get that trade in. How are you going to get that trade in? So bottom line, what happens is it opens at that area. You're like, wait a minute, it's opening at the, at this print, because that's your open bar, that's a closed bar. So it opens, it goes up to the area, it gets the resistance, and you're not even in. The area is 36.60 all the way up to 36.70. Where are you going to get it? Then it falls and it kind of starts trading and trading 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You have to make that decision. Am I taking this short? Or am I going to buy this breakout? I don't buy breakouts. I don't like to buy breakouts. I don't do it. I used to do it. It never works. Forget about it. It's such a big risk. I want to try to short. Next to resistance, I want to have the least amount, the smallest stop loss I could have. Next to resistances, that's where I could have small stop losses. So I'm looking to short this thing next to resistance, okay? This is a downward sloping sector, and it's and the momentum technically and fundamentally is down. So that's where you got it. You got 15 minutes to decide if you're going to take a trade. You take that trade, you put a stop loss, and something like this. You don't even need more than 27 cents because it hit the spot already. And if it's going to keep going up, then probably you're wrong, right? You could take a small stop loss, and the trade has been working beautifully all day long. This is the first time that the downward sloping trend line is breaking to the upside, right? So you got to think at some point, am I keeping the rest of this trade or not? But look at this, beautiful. So this is kind of things I look for. Once again, if you are with me in the live room, you could see this live as we go along. Another sector I'm looking at here is the retail sector. Okay, I'm looking at the retail sector. And why am I looking at the retail sector? You see this? I got this in a day graph. I got something going on here. This is something to watch for. I got support, and boom, they were supposed to support here. They didn't. They broke below, and now they're coming back up. So this whole area now is going to be some trouble. The retail sector, I see Kohl's up, Lululemon's up, a lot of Ralph Lauren, a lot of retailers were up. I expected the spider to just go, just completely go up, but we're going to have like earnings season now. In the next few days, we're going to have earnings for the end of the quarter. We're going to start throughout for a few weeks, and we're going to see how this plays out. So keep an eye on this sector. We're going to see whether we're buying it. It's going to go, expecting it to go back up to the 68 area, or whether this thing is a short, and it's going to continue going down to 56 and maybe even lower. Who knows? So keep an eye on that one. And I got one more here. Okay, the telecom sector. How beautiful was this? So there's hardly any volume here, but you gotta know how to trade this. So look at this telecom sector on a weekly graph. See this? So you're pretty much reaching areas of support. Okay. It's playing between the 76, 77, 75 it played all the way up to like 90 area. So this is an area of support with it. It took 2 days. Boom. It just jumps up from 70, whatever the trend line that we had here going up. You could lower the trend line, obviously, that's the way it needs to be lowered. We didn't reach it exactly, but these are things that if I'll play it with options, as opposed to just holding this sector. Who wants to put all that money down in the sector? I'm not managing these things forever. So you take it out for a quarter out or 2 quarters out. Remember, it's the end of the quarter. A lot of the funds need to unload the banks. So the bank sectors, the IAT, KRE, look at those today. Their downward momentum, I think, is just going to continue. Keep an eye on that as well. All right, see you soon. Another great stock that I saw today was NVS. So NVS, what did I see in NVS today? So we had this pretty big gap up a few days ago for, so we're close to about 10%. And you see this on a daily graph, right? Boom, we just jumped up and we're starting to go up and up and up. So I've been looking at it, the NVS. I kind of wanted to get in yesterday, but it was kind of down like a dog yesterday. It kind of looked like, gap down and just wasn't going anywhere. But today we got this gap up and I was just looking for an entry point, found this triangle here. It was trading and trading and trading, and I found a downward sloping trend line that kind of caught a support here. And the beauty about it was the low of the day on the gap up was like 10 cents lower. And that's a trade where you could get in and just put the stop below, a couple of cents below the low of the day on the gap up. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You lost your 13 cents, 27 cents, whatever it is. But if it works, you can make some good money, right? At least 1-to-1, if not 2-to-1 or 3-to-1. So there we are, NVS. It seems like it's on the high of the day. And what's beautiful is, look at this on a daily graph. You see this? It kind of cleared out this area. And then we got support. I believe it was, let's see this on a weekly. Can't see it on a weekly, on a monthly. Can't see it on a monthly. But look at it on a monthly. Look at the way this stock trades, right? It's in a huge trend for a few years already, all the way from $75 to $95. That's its range. So you got to know how to catch this whenever it's at a decent place. But I played it just based on the gap up, on the fact that it was gapped up 2 days ago and it gapped up again today. So that was a good trade. Look for something like that. I kind of got in a little late, I thought, on the stock, but it worked. So I'm looking at Lyft now. Lyft is on the low of the day. Usually the low of the day, the lowest point of the day, when the stock is positive because it's on a gap up. We just looked at Lyft, right? So usually when it's a gap up, right? You got the low of the day. There you are, $9. And yesterday's close was, I believe, right below that, right? Let's see, close $8.99. So you got yesterday's close and today's low of the day. Like I said, I don't know if Lyft is going to continue because of the fact that it's got a new CEO or not, but we'll see. But that's a good prospect trade. You don't need to take a stop loss if you're a beginner trader for more than 7 cents on a stock like this. And that's a $10 stock. So for a beginner trader, that's a great stock to trade. And then you kind of see and feel the momentum of what's going on. It doesn't seem strong to me, but it's the low of the day. So, if I could get in at 901, and you could get in 901 because the stock traded there. The low of the day was 9. If I get in 901, get out at 8, 7 cents below and a stop loss, that's 1-to-1 if you really think about it. And obviously you could make a little more. The stock came from 934. So keep an eye on that one as well. You see how beautifully this works? Boom. $9, $9. You get in there. This is what I'm talking about. And then you get your 1-to-1 at least, because this thing's just dumped to 9.11. You could take your 10 cents, you got it in 9.01. This is what you're looking at. You know, when you're starting as a trader, you gotta look for low risk trades, especially trading these small stocks. It's great. I personally also like it. You know, I just load up over there, take a bigger position I usually take. And that's part of the fun, is kind of getting to know your stock. Plus, these small stocks, they don't move crazy. They won't do anything too nuts most of the time, depending what kind of stock it is. So yeah, that is something that could always work to our benefit, especially when we're trading and we want to get better at trading. All right, so let's see how this is working out. So the NVS continued going up, which is really beautiful. As you can see, it's forming a nice close here towards the end of the day. Let's go back to, what was that, lift we were looking at? Yeah, we were looking at lift. That was a decent trade. You know, I just want you to be able to see what I was talking about, because the closer you are buying to support, the less of a stop loss, smaller stop loss you could take. And it usually works out perfect. That's, you know, we also call this like a double bottom for the day. I don't believe it's going to go much higher now until the close. You know, but at least you got something out of the trade with low risk, which is nice. So our RIVN again, we're looking at that. RIVN Automotives. So we had that trade that worked perfect, the first one, but this one is not, you know, there's nothing here. And this means that if you got in on the day at any point here, you should think about getting out, closing out the rest of the position, taking your profits and calling it a day. Okay, that should be it. So looking at the markets, we have pretty much, you know, near the highs of the day on the Dow, on the SPY, on the Qs as well. And we're going to see what happens tomorrow. The banking sector cannot go up. You know, they're unloading positions. Let's see what happens tomorrow. It's, you know, the end of the quarter, options also. So let's see how that plays out. See you guys tomorrow. Hope you enjoy the day.